Hello everyone and welcome to today's EFT Report Tool webinar. Today we're going to discuss the use of the EFT Report Tool. This tool is located on bowl.com. If anyone doesn't know what the EFT Report Tool is used for, very quickly, USBC and the local associations communicate electronically. This electronic fund transfer is called an EFT. So when we process online membership here, we provide the locals with their funds through an EFT, which is an electronic funds transfer. When the local associations process membership, it's transferred to USBC from the local association via an EFT. So anytime there's funds transferring back and forth, it transfers via EFT. So let's get into it. First of all, my name is George Lambert. I'm going to take you through today's webinar. If you have any questions, my contact information will be at the end of this webinar. Please go ahead, write down my contact information. You can reach out to me anytime in regards to the EFT tool. It's a relatively easy tool to use, and it's been quite functional for associations to keep track of their funds to and from USBC. How are we going to get to the EFT report tool on bowl.com? First, I'm going to go to bowl.com. So I type that into my browser. When I get to bowl.com, on the drop-down box, I want to click on Associations. Now, the Associations tab is basically everything that local and state associations may need that we put out there on USBC, on bowl.com from USBC head office. So there's things like youth processing, forms and manuals, find a member, find a volunteer, legislation, board of directors. As you can see there's many different areas of concern for local and state associations. One of the bigger ones is the forms and manuals page. You can get any of the bylaw information, any paper documents you may need will be in the forms and manuals area of bowl.com under associations. So what we're looking on is we're looking to click on Associations in the drop-down box from Associations. So once I click on that, it'll take me into the Associations tab, and you'll see many different modules here, the bylaws, RVP, forms and manuals, guidelines. What we're looking for here is the very bottom right side of the page. You'll see an EFT Audit Report login. So if you go ahead and click on EFT Audit Report Login, it takes you to your web browser. My web browser I'm using in this case is Google Chrome. Later on I'm going to switch over to Internet Explorer, but this should look the same for everyone. Now would be a great time to save this in your favorites if you look to come back here later. In Google Chrome's area, this little star, if I click on that, it adds it as a bookmark or saves it as a popular page. The reason for doing this is next time you're looking to get to the EFT Report Tool, you just click on it in your favorites area. This way it doesn't take you time to navigate through bowl.com. Although we are urging all associations, state and local, to get on bowl.com and to look at the latest and greatest information we got out there for you guys. So, logging in. ID. ID is your association number. Pretty easy. Password. Password we use for this is your supply order password. This is a password generally is mostly all capital letters that you use to log in to order your supplies. So once you type in your association number and your supply order password, go ahead and click on Login. Now that I'm logged in, I've got some other drop-down features and information that it's looking for. Some information that's going to judge what criteria we're looking for. It's very important when you're entering in the dates that you enter them in the exact format that's listed here. So when it says a 4-digit year, you must make sure that the year is in 4 digits. Then the month, then the day. If it's not exactly like this, it will cause an error and it will not let you see the data you're looking for. So what you want to do in the start date area, you want to enter the date you want to start the report from, the first day. After that, you want to enter the end date. Same thing with the end date, 4-digit year, 2-digit month, 2-digit day. It must be like this, otherwise it will provide an error. The last thing that you need to do on the login page, or the credentials page here, criteria page, sorry, is what type of report do you want? Are you looking for details? Are you looking for each individual bowler separately? Or are you looking just for a summary, just to see how much money you have total, how much money went in and out? I'll show you the difference when we move on here. So you've entered your start date, you've entered your end date, and you've selected what type of report. I selected the details report. Once you've done that, click on Generate Report. Once I click on Generate Report, you'll see a few things here. First of all, go ahead and make sure that your association is listed here. We want to make sure we're looking at the information for the correct association. Second thing to have a look at is make sure you've got the date range that you're looking for accurate. Those are two important things to look at before you go on looking at the data, making sure that you've got the right data up there. As you'll see here, you'll notice that there's 17 pages of information here. Right here you'll see it where I'm highlighting. Now you can scroll through this information via page, this front blue arrow or the back arrow here, or you can go to the end of the document if you're looking for the data that's at the end of the data range that you selected. So in this case I selected 2011 January 1st to 2012 January 1st. So I did a full year of information here. This is a database that we use from the military USBC. One of the only databases we have on campus here. So now that I've checked to make sure the information is correct, next let's see what kind of information it provides me with. Again, your association will be listed right here, and the dates will be listed right here. Here's the information it's giving us. What date the EFT was transferred on. So that means what date the money either went in or out of your account, or in and out of our account. And in this case, since I selected details, I'm going to get every single bowler that purchased a membership and what they purchased. So each and every one singly are going to be listed here. If I was to select summary, it wouldn't do this. It would provide me with an EFT date, and it would provide me with a lump sum of how many transactions there were and the total amount. I'll show you that in the next slide here. So we'll go back a slide here and show you another feature. In this case we have 17 pages of information. Maybe I put too much space in between the start and end date, so I want to go ahead and change that. At any time while you have the information on there, you could change this information. So you could take it and maybe make it 1 month of information. Once you change that information there, you click on Generate Report, and it'll provide that report for just that month. So you're in charge. You have the ability to change any of that information whenever you wish. Just another added feature of the EFT Report Tool. So moving forward, a few things. As you can tell here, this is a debit to your account. So what this means is someone paid you $10 national dues and $1 state dues plus your local dues. So what happens is this money comes to USBC headquarters, and then we distribute the $1 back to the state. In this case down here, this was a National Association merged purchase. This was purchased online. Because it was purchased online, we turn around and take the local dues and give them back to the local association. So that would be a credit to your account. So again, debit is a positive, credit is in brackets. So this is coming out of your account and coming to USBC, and the $10 is coming into your account from USBC. Now in this case, the military USBC pays $10 local dues. Now, since we're in a detail report here, you see all the names of every bowler, which is really handy if you're looking up to see when someone bought their membership or what they purchased or how they purchased it. Now, I don't have a sample of it, but if we would have selected summary, you would not see any of these listings. All this would be removed, and the only thing you would see would be the totals. So you'd see this number here. Let me change the color of this here so you can see. This number here would change. This number here would stay the same. And then you would see this gray box with the transaction count and how much money was in it. So this would be a significantly smaller amount of information if you were to do summary and not details. So all it would do is provide you with how many transactions there were and the total amount of that transaction for that EFT date. Again, if there's any questions as we go along, please jot them down, shoot me an email at the end of everything, and I can help you out. So, again, summary removes all these personal individual information, and details keeps it all here. So this is a detail report, so I'm seeing each and every body. All right, moving on. Now I want to show you is how to export this data so we can use it in Excel. If anyone knows anything about Excel, they know how easy it is to manipulate data within Excel due to how it processes information, and it uses a spreadsheet to do so. How are we going to do this? Well, that's why I'm here. What we're going to do first is we're going to export the data. As you can see here, there's an export area. Once you click on that little arrow, it'll drop down a menu box with a couple different selections. If you want to just print this off your computer, you can make it really easy by changing it into a PDF. Once it's in a PDF, it'll be all in one document. You hit print, and then you can save it. You file it in your paperwork if you wish. And how we're going to do it here is we're going to export it so we can open it in Excel. So what I did on the drop-down box, I highlighted Excel. So as you can see, Excel is highlighted. Once that's highlighted, that's what I want, I click on Export. Now what I did is, I did this in Internet Explorer. As you can see in the top left, it's got the E. Generally, Internet Explorer is one of the most popular web browsers, so I just want to go ahead and use that one so that I cover the most bases. Each one will download it a little bit differently. Excel, I use Google Chrome. It downloads it differently than Internet Explorer, than Safari, than all the other browsers that's out there that are available. So once I click on Export, this little window pops up. And this little window pops up first. And then inside that window, this one pops up. Now what I want to do is I want to save this file to my computer. How am I going to do that? I'm going to click Save. Once I click on Save, the computer's asking me, hey, where do you want to put this thing? Well, I want to put it in My Documents. So I'm going to click on My Documents, and I'm going to click on Save. Now, it's downloaded it, to my computer. It's saved on my computer now. What do I want to do with it now? I can either open the folder and see where it is on my computer, or I can just click open and it'll automatically open it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on open. Once I click on open, it automatically opens up the exact same information we saw online, but it puts it into an Excel document. As you can see here. Microsoft Excel. Now I'm going to show you just a quick tool how you can use Excel to make your life a lot easier. And that's what we're trying to do here. So instead of having to call us and get an EFT report tool sent out to you or an EFT report sent out to you, you can just go ahead and online anytime you wish and see this type of information, which is going to make it really convenient for everyone. Alright, so what I want to do here is I want to find one individual. Like I said before, I have 17 pages of information and I have no idea when that person bought their membership. What can I do? I can click on the Find and Select feature. Once I click on the Find and Select feature, this window will pop up. It's looking for some information for me. I got to give it some criteria to select from. So any information I want, I can type into there, whether it's a date, whether it's a last name, whether it's a first name, whether it's an ID number, but it's got to be the exact same as what it is in there. So if there's a space between the first and last name, there has to be a space between the first and last name in the Find What box. That's this thing right here. Anywhere in this yellow box here has to be exactly what you're looking for. So in my case, I use a sample of Julie. So I typed in Julie in the Find What box, and hey, what do you know? We have a Julie in there. So what it does is it outlines the box that contains the information that I searched. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward, but this is an easy way for you to see to make sure that money was transferred to USBC, or if someone purchased it online, make sure that you received the money from us because it was purchased online. It's an easy way to follow along. Again, you can type in whatever you want there, and you click on the Find Next button. Now, I'm going to leave my information up here for you to look at real quick. But we're not done yet. I'm going to do a quick online real-time sample of how you do this. I'll put my information back up there in case you haven't gotten it. But my email is george.lambert@bowl.com, or my direct extension here is 8253. If you're looking to get a hold of me after hours, you can always reach me on my cell phone, which is 630-418-5891. I don't mind calls any day, any night. It doesn't matter to me. If you don't reach me, please just leave me a quick voicemail and get back to you as soon as I can. This is the website. If you didn't bookmark it earlier, you can have it. You can see it right here. Again, my email address. So now let's go through one of these live. I've got a window all set up, ready to go. This is a military USBC. I'm going to go through it. All right, so I just logged in. Again, it's looking for some time and some dates. Let's do 2012-01-01 to 2012-06-01. And let's do summary. Show you a little different. So once I selected that, I click Generate Report. And depending on your criteria, what you've asked the report to provide to you, it may be 100 pages depending on your association size. It may be 1 page. In this case here, it's 1 page. Some more information that's kind of handy is having the transaction count. tells me my association here, gives me my date, 0101 to 0601 in 2012, gives me my total amount as well. So, as I told you before, when you select summary, it just gives you the summary. So it tells you how many transactions there were. So in this case, there was 11 transactions at $110. And it gives you the date. So if you're looking for a certain transaction date, all you need to do is say, oh, look, yep, here's the one that I had on February 3rd. There was one transaction of $10. I sold that one membership. And $10 went to USBC. In this case, this was an online purchase on February 3rd. This $10 came in to your association, came into the military USBC. It was in brackets, which means it's credited to your account. So now what I want to do is I'm going to switch that around. I'm going to quickly switch that to details. So anytime you want to switch, you can change around the date, the type of report. You just got to change the information, click on Generate Report, and it'll provide you with the information. Let's go back to that February 3rd. No, it's not on this page. You got 4 pages of information. Let's make it a little easier. Let's get this out and let's get it to Excel. How am I going to do that? I'm going to use the export feature. I click on the drop-down box. I'm going to go down and select Excel. Click on Excel. Now I'm going to click on Export. So now that I have it exported, as I said, Google Chrome is what I'm using. It dealt with this file a little differently than Internet Explorer does. So put it down here in the bottom window. So all I need to do is click on that, and it's going to automatically open up Excel 2010 for me, and it's going to open up this information I was looking for. Alright, so now here's all my information. So now I want to scroll down to February 3rd. There it is. And I see that this person purchased an online membership on the 3rd, which credited my association of the military USBC with $10. The transaction count was 1. The total was $10 on February 3rd. It's just that easy. Some other features you can do in Excel, you can sort this information. If you want to sort it by see who was purchased online, who was not purchased online, if you want to sort it by holder name, you can do all that using Excel. Now, Jim Zebehazy has done some webinars on using Excel both in the beginner and intermediate. We're looking to get those posted on the USBC webinars page, so you can follow along there and learn a little bit more about Excel. That concludes today's webinar. I'm going to close out of this Excel program here. I'm going to put up my PowerPoint slide again so you can see my information. Again, my name is George Lambert. I'm the Midwest Regional Manager for USBC. Regional managers are here to help in any way possible. We're trying our best to bridge the gap between the local and state associations and USBC headquarters. So again, please reach out, contact me if I can help you with anything. If you know your own personal regional manager, there's 4 of us total: Jim Zebehazy, David Prang, Robin Marshall, and myself, George Lambert. You can reach out to us anytime. We'll be happy to answer any questions we can. So, thanks a lot for attending today's webinar, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future.